Hello, this is Dave. I've been retired for 6 months now, and this is my 6 month update. So, how are things going? First of all, in terms of money. Leading up to retirement, that was my big concern. Are we going to have enough money? Are we going to survive? Are we going to run out of money in retirement? Once I retired, I started worrying less about money, as I think a lot of retired people find that they do. Now, we were in a bull market, and looking at my investments throughout the fall, they kept gaining in value, so I was feeling pretty good. We're in the middle of March now. We've got a little downturn, and so things aren't looking as good, but I'm confident that, as historically has always happened, that things will get better again. And so I really don't worry about money as much as I thought I would. I really don't worry about money as much as I used to. Along those lines, what about stress? The last year and a half that I was working, I had a lot of stress. It wasn't because of the job itself, it was because of the environment, management, what was going on politically. I was very stressed out. My stress level went down a lot as soon as I announced a retirement date, because then all the expectations changed. And I thought that my stress level would go down a lot more the minute I walked out the door. Now, it did continue to go down, and it continues to drop as we go along. It didn't drop right away as much as I thought it would. I guess it took a long time for the stress to build up, and it's taking some time for the stress to go away. But the stress level is getting better. Along those lines, thinking about work. At first, I thought about work a fair amount. I had some strange dreams. One of the first nights after I walked out the door, I dreamt that I was back at work, hanging out with my colleagues. And then all of a sudden I realized, I don't work here anymore. How did I even get in the building? And then since then, I've had several dreams where I've been at work. I've known I was retired. I was working anyway, knowing I wasn't getting paid for it. Kind of strange, but that's what happened. But those dreams have been going away. And as time goes on, I think less and less about work. Do I miss the work? I actually do miss the work. I don't miss the company I worked for. I don't miss the politics. But I miss the work itself. I enjoyed my work. Now, I still carry on a consulting and training business. And as part of that recently, I got with a client online. The client showed me a drawing of a part, and I explained the dimensioning. I explained some errors that were done in the dimensioning, and that was fun. And I miss doing that. It wouldn't bother me if some of my colleagues that I used to work with would call me up and ask me a question once in a while about some part they're struggling with, some dimensioning issue they're having. I'd be happy to help them. Not that I care about the company anymore, but they were great people. I'd be happy to help them. But yeah, that doesn't happen. Valuing time. Leading up to retirement, it was just a matter of I'm going to keep working as long as I can. I want to prepare as well as I can for retirement. Didn't think much about the time after I retired. I was feeling good. I felt like I was going to live forever. I didn't worry about getting old. But now that I'm retired, and I think like most people, I'm learning to value my time a lot more. I'm just realizing more and more how valuable time is. I'm feeling good, able to do stuff. And I'm realizing not everybody my age does feel this good. Not everybody my age is able to do the things that I can still do. And I value that time I have. I value my good health. And so I think if somebody would call me up and say, hey, can you come back to work? We'll have things like they were 5 years ago and everything was great. I'd say, no, I just value my time that much more. Now that I know I can be okay financially without working full time, there's no way I would go back to work because I just valued that time a lot more than I used to. Work friends. And this is typical from what I've seen with other people who retire. You realize all of a sudden your work friends were actually work colleagues. You sit by somebody every day and you get to know them. They get to know what's going on in your life. You feel like you're close friends. Then once you walk out the door, you never see them or hear from them again. And that's what's happened with almost all of my colleagues. There was one work colleague that I did see because he and I both went to a Society of Mechanical Engineers meeting, but I have not seen any of my other work colleagues since I walked out the door. I've exchanged a few emails here and there once in a while, but that's been pretty much it. I did get invited to the Christmas lunch last year for the entire organization, and I would have gone because I would have loved to see my colleagues, but there are some people in management that I knew would be there I did not want to see, and so I didn't go. So colleagues are colleagues, and friends are something different. I never realized that until I left. So then, am I lonely? No. I still talk to people at church. I talk to people in my consulting business. I have a friend that I went to business school with 35 years ago that I keep in contact with. And I see, of course, my wife and my kids and my grandkids. And I think it helps a lot that I'm married because then my wife and I take a walk every morning. We do other stuff together. We talk. And so being an introvert, that's pretty much all I need. I don't need a lot of other friends. And so I am not lonely. How do I keep busy? Well, I'm still doing my consulting and training business. That kept me pretty busy last fall. It's been less busy so far this year. It kind of comes and goes. I mentioned that my wife and I take a walk almost every morning, and that gets our day going. It's a great way to start your day. And then the rest of the day, I'll do stuff around the house. I have a to-do list, which I'm always feeling I'm behind on, and I plan to do a lot more of it once the weather gets better. I work on 2 other YouTube channels. I have one for engineering and one about theology. Between all that, I keep busy, and I still keep thinking I'm not getting as much stuff done as fast as I had hoped. So sitting around and being bored? No. Keeping busy. I plan to continue to keep busy. Spring is right around the corner, and as we go into the spring and the summer, I have lots of plans to go up north, do a lot of camping, see a lot of other stuff around Michigan, take videos, bring you along for those videos. And so hopefully a lot more to come. And so that's where I'm at right now, and please come back to watch for more.